Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and well, we're going to pick up where we left off on a prior episode of what I'm going to call storage locker finds. It wasn't a storage auction in the sense of the storage auctions that you watch maybe on television as episodes. This was a case where a friend of mine actually was in a neighborhood, saw a storage locker sale sign posted, and when he went in, he found that, well, there was just a whole storage locker emptied out, kind of in front of the door bays, and the fellow was just taking offers on the stuff that was in that locker as a way to clean it out. And my friend found a whole milk crate. This is half of what he found in the locker. He called me up and asked me if I would be interested in it. I said yes, and as a result of that, well, we have some reels to do here as a set of projects. Most of these reels, as I mentioned in the earlier one, maybe you didn't get a chance to see that, but in the earlier one, they averaged not much more than $5 a piece. So there's plenty of reels here. I'll certainly make my money back as I service them and get them out there fishing again. And those that can't be repaired, well, they'll just become parts reel, hoping to give other reels a second chance. If you like these kinds of videos, I want to encourage you to subscribe. If you do subscribe, you'll learn what I'm working on, and more importantly, you'll learn about the reel, how to fix them, how to keep them running for a long time to come. Well, let's take a look at some of these then. This is the Penn Seaboy. It's an 85. This one looks to be in rough shape, but it's turning, and the drags are holding. This reel is worth $20 just in parts. You can't get the handles. This is a nice tight handle. The side plate is always hard to find, if not impossible to find, and they break easily because they don't have a metal ring or any kind of preventive measure on the top end. So when it slams a boat rail or pier wall or anything like that, they tend to break. This one's in good condition. All of this is kind of like a mold, it almost seems, some kind of film on there. Where do you see how this one cleans up? We'll do a video on that one. We have the big brother to that. This is the Long Beach 65. And the Long Beach 65, if this other one wasn't in frame, that's your Seaboy, and I apologize. But the Long Beach 65 essentially uses the same design and engineering on the gear side that the 85 does. The 85, the 285, the 65, they're all basically the same reel. All right, this one's struggling. And I was told that it was going to be that way. We don't have a free spool here. That means that the pinion gear is probably frozen onto the spool shaft here. The good news is I have a lot of parts for these reels. There's been a lot that have been broken that have not been repairable. I can get to that parts bin, probably replace the main gear, maybe have to replace the pinion gear, and we'll get that one out there fishing again. That's still a popular reel with the charter boats around, and well, as long as it's popular and it has a place to go fishing. Well, here's the junior size of the other one. We showed you the Seaboy. I'm trying to keep these in frame now. I think this is the 78. Yeah, it looks like the Penn 78. This is essentially the 65 without the star drag. So this is a direct drive reel. It does have an anti-reverse, I believe. Nope, doesn't have an anti-reverse. So this is a direct drive reel. You pedal it both ways. Again, this one... The purpose of the free spool here is so that the handle doesn't turn backwards like it would on, say, a Penn 109. But again, the solid plate here, we had talked about the side plate on this one, they're identical. So if you have an 85 reel and a 78 reel and you need a side plate for, say, the 85, you can use the side plate from the 78 to fill that need. All right, this one's kind of unusual. Here's a Shimano Triton reel. Lost its frame. I'd like to know how that happened. It's frozen, but there's a lot of good parts on this. Obviously, there's a handle on it. There's a side frame, your lever, your preset adjuster, and more importantly, the spool. And of course, the gearing is probably good in there as well. I'm looking inside. I see a nice sharp gear in there. This will be parts, and I think there'll be a place for those parts The Triton is a beautiful reel all around. That's probably the Beastmaster. I don't know what size that is. We'll find out. And, well, we'll just have an opportunity there to go do our best to keep those parts and keep other reels fishing. Well, here's typically something you would find in the Northeast. It's a highly corroded or tarnished Penn 155 Beachmaster. That greening is because the reel has not been kept clean. It has a plastic spool on it. No tarnish there. Plastic spool was ideal for casting. It was a lighter weight and enabled it to spin faster and you to throw the line further. So, always good to get it fishing. And it looks like mechanically it's working. So, well, maybe we'll do a how to clean that corrosion up video out of this one. Moving right along, here's an interesting one. I want to find out when this reel was made. This is a Four Brothers reel. It's an Eclipse. And my guess is the 1930s. It's missing the cap on this side. Probably rubber side plates here. Four Brothers were the four brothers of Ernest Pfluger. So they made a secondary branding in the reels. So this pretty much is probably identical to a Pfluger reel. It is a Pfluger reel. It's just under the Four Brothers Eclipse name. But I hope to find that jewel cap there because this one could be a fun reel and certainly could do well. Next up then, looks like we have I have a reel I haven't seen before. Okay, this is called Sensung. Kind of looks like everything of an Abu Ambassador, doesn't it? It's a Tour Pro Classic. And it's not working. Well, hard to be a classic if you're not working. Actually, the reel is very clean. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to do a video on why did this one break and give you an inside look at this. I've never seen that brand before. Maybe if you've seen that brand, you can help me along with that and let me know a little bit more about it. Well, if you have any questions on these reels or any reels, if you want to leave those in the comment section, I will try to answer those for you. Let's move right along. Here's a Mitchell 324. It's in that same vein as a 300. It has a little bit simpler architecture here. Missing a spool. I think I have a spool around somewhere. We have a bail that doesn't trip. So we'll go ahead and find out why this little pin is not coming back. When you push the pin in, it works. So we'll have to see a little bit more about that. Here's a cousin to that. Here's a Penn reel. Dan Shea just sent one of these in. This is the Penn 720. It came in a couple of different flavors. It came in this blue case with the fish on the side. It came in a copper case. It came in the black gold series. This is a nice small, intermediate, if you will, Penn reel. This one seems to work. A little tight, but working. This is our Penn. This is also the... it says 155 on the side. Here's what we were talking about before with the cracked side plates. This one has a cracked side plate on it. This is probably going to be a parts reel. Maybe what I'm going to do, I think this one is in much better condition than the other one that's all greened up. I think we're just going to steal this side plate here, bring it onto this reel, take two to make one and save one for parts. Oh, we keep going. Here's a Silster FT35. Looks like this is the handle that belongs with it. The reel's turning noisily. Not quite sure what's going on there. We may check. Next one up then is a Daiwa Magforce MA15G. Beautiful reel, missing that cap, the spool adjuster. I got to find a cap for this because I like this reel a lot. Looks like everything's working on it other than the spool adjusting cap. I'll have to find a way for that. There's another of the old classic designs. This one is a Shakespeare. Also missing that side cap. Drives me nuts, right? Shakespeare SRB1. Seems like it's working as well. So I'm beginning to wonder what that fellow was, because this is really quite an eclectic mix. I always see a Senatorial and I smile because that's the reels I learned to fish with in the surf. This is a Senator River reel. It's got kind of a copper color to it. It was made in France. Fairly tight, but working. That can be corrected. That's just a matter of some penetrating oil to loosen that up. Like that one. That's a lucky find. This one looks like a Daiwa Millionaire. It is. There you go. So I'm wondering what the architecture was on this one. The early Daiwa Millionaires almost look like exact copies of Abu Ambassadors early on. I'll have to take this one away and see what's going on. Missing some badging and the like. Had a hard life. It's been knocked around in a rod rack. And is scraping up its paints. All right, 2 more in here. 3 more in here. It looks like another one of these missing side plate buttons. This one is a Zebco Pro Staff. Boy, if that doesn't look like the Shimano, right? The Shimano's had those exposed line guides. This one's not going anywhere. Parts is a nice case looking one. This is a Mitchell 300, missing the bail spring and the screw. I have that. We'll see if we can put this one back together. And finally, for the fans of the fly reels out there, not quite sure what we have here. We have a South Bend 1122A fly reel. Seems to be working. Squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? Well, there you go. So my average, as I mentioned, was a very low cost average. There's a lot of work involved in these, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why they were able to get the price as it was. There's very few of these you can just pull a line off of, put fresh line on and take fishing. Every one of them is going to need a cleaning, re-greasing, and part inspection and the like. Some of them are missing the parts. But overall, they're good project reels, well worth the money and time invested, and we're going to see what we can do with these. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. Before I leave, I want to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, and everybody involved in keeping us out of harm's way. I want to thank you for watching these, for making the channel what it is, and for leaving your comments that help me to understand what it is that you like about the videos, what can be improved, and the types of videos that you would find interesting going forward. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day.